us go through the policy and do a quick overview. The policy lives under a Microsoft 365 Admin Center. We should select Settings, then Org Settings. So from here we can search for, just scroll down to Microsoft 365 Group Settings. Now, there are some settings over here, and below we can see Ownerless Groups configuration. Microsoft explains why we need this policy, and to configure this policy, we just select and click Configure. Now, there are some pre-configured settings, but we're gonna change them. Okay, that's a kind of wizard interface. Microsoft explains here basics of the policy, how it works, but let's go to step 1, where we can specify who can receive ownership notifications. Currently it says all active members, but we can allow only certain active members here or block certain active members here. So if you select allow on certain active members, there is another field where we can specify security groups. Only security groups can be specified here. Again, it's like just selecting from a pop-up window. Only one security group can be specified here. If you try to select another one, it replaces first one. The same experience for block only certain active members, but for now we'll go with all active members, and we'll discuss later, like in what cases we should select this or this. Number of active members to notify. That's very straightforward. Like let's say I have orphan group with 20 members. Policy will select 5 members out of 25 most active members. Now, notify most active members weekly for 4 weeks. That's kind of tricky. Consider this. Pay attention. Like, notifications will be sent within 24 hours after policy activation. Let's say I activate the policy today. Users will get notifications tomorrow, first notifications. Second notification will be sent week after tomorrow, and third notification will be sent 2 weeks after tomorrow. 3 notifications will be sent during 2 weeks, not 3. 3 notifications during 2 weeks. Just keep this in mind. You can select a sender. Again, only Microsoft 365 group address here or user email address here. No distribution lists, no shared mailboxes here. Though we can technically select shared mailbox here. It appears here. A policy will not work. You can continue with this mailbox. You can save this policy. You can expect this policy send notifications, but notifications will not be sent because of this shared mailbox. Consider here or user account or group account. Now, sender obviously, so users who will receive notifications will be seeing this account as a sent from account. So emails will come from this account. It depends on your specific situation. So you can keep your name here. For example, if you administer small M365 environment, all the users knows you, people trust you, and you are comfortable if they will contact you directly, and if they will get emails sent from you. But if you are administering like medium or large environment, consider something neutral here. For example, common practices to use no reply count if you cannot use some specific reasons. Just user account, you can create Microsoft 365 group, name it whatever you want, and use a group account here. For example, I've created for this specific situation group called M365 Governance Policy Group. Well, naming is up to you, right? So you can select here something like policy enforcement team or something like that. We can configure email. There are some tricks here. So I have a separate topic for this. So let's discuss it later. But yeah, you can see that we can configure subject, message body, we can specify some URLs here, and we can use some variables name. another option is groups. This policy will be applied to. So options are all groups, or we can select specific groups here. Now, the limitation is 50 groups. You cannot specify more than 50 groups here. And experience is just only graphical user interface experience. So if you need 50 groups here, you'll need select all these 50 groups manually. And so no Graph API or shell options to specify this group here. Again, we'll discuss later in advanced topics in what cases we would prefer specific groups or all groups here. But for now, let's continue. The last step is where we can overview our policy and click finish. Ownerless groups policy will be saved. Yep, that's what I wanted. Sometimes you can get this message. Usually, this indicates a lack of permissions or timeout. If you don't have global admin permissions, just get global admin permissions or ask global admin to configure this policy. If you are a global admin, just go back and try click finish one more time. Yeah, and we are done here. We configured M65 ownerless groups policy. Now the question is, who can configure this policy? Currently, I'm logged in as a global admin. Microsoft says global admin, exchange admin, or groups admin can configure the policy. Another article says global admin, only global admin can create the policy. Obviously, global admin can do anything, but what is the minimal role required for this policy to configure it? According to my tests, yes, exchange admin or groups admin can configure the policy, but there is a trick. So here I'm logged in as an exchange admin. And if I go to groups configuration again, I can see this nasty message. It says, you don't have permissions to save changes. Wow, cool. But if I go through policy steps, it actually allows me to save changes. You see? Yes, Exchange admin or Groups admin can configure this policy. Teams administrator or SharePoint administrator cannot configure this policy. Okay, that's it for now for this topic.